And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're talking about Orléans. Now this is a game that I found at Essen, and it got some buzz because it's what we call a bag building game, in which you are going to be throwing tiles into a bag and pulling them out. Think of a deck building game like Dominion, where you're building a deck of cards. Here you're throwing tiles into a bag, and then you pull them out randomly, and you then do different things with those tiles. Now I heard some good things about this game, that it was a strong, mechanically sound game. It didn't look that interesting on the outside. In fact, I thought the box cover, I still don't know what's going on with the helmet on that knight's head, but I was willing to give it a try because several people said it was good. Let's see if it is. To understand the game, let's talk about endgame scoring. At the end of the game, you're going to get points for the different resource goods that are here. The wheat is 1 point all the way down to the cloth is 5 points. So that's one way to get points, is by collecting those resources. You're also going to get points for building trading houses out here in different cities, and for collecting different citizens. You get them by moving on different tracks. And whoever builds the most trading houses gets a citizen. The citizens that you have in the houses are going to be worth points equal to wherever your piece is on the knowledge track. So if my piece was here, at the end of the game, all my trading houses and all my citizens would be worth 3 points each. So that's how you're going to score the game. The way the game plays is very simple. Each round, you're going to turn over one of these tiles, and there will be an event that will happen. This one says no monks can be played this round. This one says at the end of the round, everyone has to give up a food token, or they have to give up 5 coins. And whenever you can't do one of these events, you could possibly really pay for that by losing people. And the way you're going to be running all this is through your own player board that you have here. Each player starts with 4 workers down here. And each of these 4 workers you're going to be using, but you're going to be getting more. After the event's been shown, you'll take these workers and you put them in various places where you like to. So maybe, for example, I want to put them in these 3 spots here. This brown one, there's no place I want to put him. I could maybe put him here, but I don't get to take the action unless it's completely full. So I'll leave him here for a future round. And so by putting these 3 people here, I'm going to get a soldier, and I get to take the soldier action. Then I'll take these 3 and throw them into a bag, and at the beginning of each round, I'm going to pull people from that bag, put them here, and do it again. So you're trying to do all these different actions. Now, several of the actions are going to give you more people, but they also give you benefits. If you take this action here, when you move along this track here, you're going to get technology. You'll get another brown worker thrown in your bag, but you also get these technology tiles. These technology tiles are really useful because you're able to place them on a spot, and it's like that spot's always full. So instead of me needing 3 to use the wagon action, I only need 2 to be placed there. So every time I move this up, I get another technology tile. When I move this one up, I will get to look through first the 1 stack, and then as I move it higher, through the 1 and the 2 stack. And these are basically buildings that either give me a special ability. This one here lets me use gray workers as a wild, basically. This one here, I can, for every house I have, I get a coin, as long as I put 2 of these guys on it. So you have different ones. They might give you a specific good, like this one here gives me cheese when I put 2 farmers on it. This one here gives me 2 gold when I put 2 coins when I put a monk on it. And by the way, I forgot to mention this, when you're scoring at the end of the game, every coin you have is worth a point. So that's also a very valid way to get victory points, because you can get a lot of coins over the course of the game. Farmers here, when you move on the farmer track, you'll get 1 good that's shown there. You also get an extra white farmer token to throw in your bag. And at the beginning of each round, whoever is the farthest ahead on the farmer track gets a gold, and whoever is the farthest behind loses a gold, unless it's a tie, in which case you get nothing. But anyhow, building on these guys gives you a black worker and gives you a new building that you can put people into. Moving along the blue track simply gives you gold, but it also gives you another fisherman. Moving along the soldier track gives you more soldiers, but also, you'll notice here at the top, at the beginning of your turn, this is how many tiles you draw from your bag. So you start by drawing 4, but you could get up to drawing 8. And then moving on the gray track allows you to move on the knowledge track at the bottom of the board. So the first time I move 2 spaces in the knowledge track, then 3, then 4, and so on and so forth. So this is what's on this board, but there's other things you can do. These affect the board over here. Move by the sea, move on land, and build a trading post. Very simple. You'll take your guy here. If you move by sea, you move from sea from one spot to another spot. If there's a good between those spots, you'll take it. If there's 2 goods, you pick which one you'll take. If it's by land, same thing. You just follow one of the land trails. If it's a trading post, you build a trading post, but there can only be 1 trading post per town, except for Orléans, which can have 1 from each player. And again, remember, these give you points. This is a way to get a lot of points because you're getting these goods tiles, which are worth points, and also dropping trading posts on the board for points too. And that's pretty much everything over here, with the exception of here you can see you get just a point on the knowledge track, and here you can send 2 people off to the city council where they do good deeds. Here you're basically removing them from the game. So let's say I sent over 2 of the gray characters. I can send them over here and put them here. Each one is going to give me 2 coins. If I'm put the last one, so let's say someone else had a fisherman, and then I put a farmer, and then a noble here. I put the last one in that spot. I will also get this citizen token, which will be worth bonus points at the end of the game. So you set people here basically to get them out of your bag, but also to get coins, which are points, or here to move on the knowledge track. Finally, there's one more guy you can get, the monks. These are great guys because they are wilds, and they can go anywhere on your board in any of the spots, although there are some spots that are only for monks. So anyhow, you're going to do this through a number of rounds equal to the tiles. I believe it's 16 rounds, and whoever has the most points from money and goods and trading houses is the winner. Orleans by nature is a engine building game because you're trying to get your machine working, and so you start with 4 workers, and as time goes by you're going to get more and more. But what workers you get is where the game gets extremely interesting. And let me start out by saying I really enjoyed this game. Wow. Yes, the theme is the same old, get resources, get workers, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about that. I focus in this game straight up on the mechanisms because they were so clear as to how they worked. And you sit there and go, what do I do? Do I get soldiers? Because soldiers are used for a lot of different things on the board, and I can draw more tiles from my bag. Or do I get farmers? Because having the most farmers gives me that extra coin every round, which is essentially a point. And also gives me more of those resource tiles, which are 1 to 5 points. Or should I go for the monks who are wild and I could put them anywhere? And really, you've all these different options, and it gets so much fun because it gets cooler and cooler each time you're pulling these and doing different actions. The event tokens are the event tiles. You never know sure what's going to happen there. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. There's one that like kills one of your guys. You just randomly pull a guy from the bag, but you can mitigate that even, and it's interesting in how that works because if you pull one of your 4 starter workers from the bag, they're not killed. So you can deliberately not use people that turn, just leave them on the board because you're never required to use people in an action. So you could leave some people on the board and have your bag mostly full of starter workers. So if you pull with them, you're fine. But at that point, you're also not taking actions that turn. So it's give or take on how that works out. And there really is very set strategies to this game. And in a sense that the divergent strategies, I mean, where you can go for money, you can go for a lot of resources, or you can get a bunch of houses out and increase how much they're worth. Man, I was just enamored with just all the different things. Sending people off to do good works on that one board, which takes them out of the game. And sometimes you want to do that, get them out of your bag. Other times you don't want to, but the points that they give you money, which is points. And also you can get those little workers who can be worth more points at the end of the game. And then moving around the board. If you wait too long to move on the board, you won't get the best resources. But the more you at the beginning of the game, you also might want to concentrate on getting cool stuff into your bag. Ah, man, this is all about the mechanisms in the bag and the pulling things from the bag. Sure, there's randomness to it where you might not pull the stuff that you want from the bag, but you can mitigate that through different ways. You don't have to place all your workers so that the next turn you can make sure you grab the stuff from your bag that you want. And I don't know if there is a dominant strategy to this game or not, but wow, the fun I had playing this. This is amazing. It's one of the few times where the theme of the game is completely irrelevant to me because I had so much fun just getting my engine together working. This is a game where I start off okay and get better and better as time goes by, and I really enjoy that. I like deck building games anyway, and this gives me a very similar feel to that because I feel like I can look at what everyone else is doing and do something different than that they have done. So, high thumbs up from me. This is a game that I enjoy quite a bit and look forward to playing many more times over the coming years. Orléans. Dice Tower Judgment, into my collection.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!